We recently told you about research showing Instagram can have a negative impact on mental health and body image, especially for teen girls. Now, a growing community of writers and poets are trying to turn the platform into a force for positive change. Jamie Yukas introduces us to two authors who are helping their millions of followers see light during dark times.
Diamonds form under pressure.
We normally come together with many unresolved issues because healing simply takes time.
Whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, or in darkness, you're in a powerful place of transformation and transmutation.
Diego Perez, who uses the pen name Young Pueblo, and Layla Delia live on opposite coasts, but are connected through a community of authors turning the page on what it means to be a writer.
We must continually outgrow who we have been in order to continually develop into who we were created to become.
They both use social media to spread positive messages of hope and self-discovery, gaining power through pain, and musings of what it means to love yourself.
The way I write is from the heart and from the soul, and so the fact that people are gravitating to that message, that inner calling, a lot of people are looking for another way of being in the world.
Misery is going out of style. People are tired of being miserable. You know, you can have money, you can have beautiful things in your life, but if your mind is constantly reacting, it's very easy for you to ruin things for yourself.
Young Pueblo's posts are simple.
Next time you feel agitated because you're falling back into past patterns,
His words powerful and insightful.
remember that simply being aware that you are repeating the past is a sign of progress.
And are resonating with the millions of people following him on social media.
So we're in Prospect Park, which is where you started writing.
I would spend so many precious quiet moments here just trying to, one, figure out my life and just figure out what I was actually understanding about myself.
He likes to call himself an explorer, not a teacher. His latest New York Times best-selling book lays out how to find clarity and connection, something he struggled with for much of his life.
I never wanted to admit to myself that I actually felt pretty sad and depressed inside.
What was the rock bottom moment for you?
Just partying way too much, doing too many different drugs, and just pushing myself way too far. I felt like my life was slipping from reality. So I took the drugs, I flushed them down the toilet, and from that day forward, that's when all of the honesty started.
He says Vipassana meditation, which means to see things as they really are, changed his life. It's now the biggest part of his identity and backbone of his work.
Meditation made me realize that I don't need to cause myself this extra mental pain.
The moment you allow what happened to strengthen you, you win.
Vulnerability and pain are also at the center of Delia's work.
I was at the threshold of taking my own life. I was in depression, coming from back-to-back domestic violence partnerships. It was a lot, and I didn't know how to express that pain, and I didn't know how to stop down spiraling. And so breaking that cycle for me was the turning point. So many of us come to our higher selves through pain, through that portal.
Delia has amassed more than 500,000 followers, doing what she loves as a spiritual writer.
What's it like for you to be back at the beach, a place you like to write?
Feels like home.
She encourages people to vibrate higher daily, aptly the title of her new book.
Yeah, it just means that day after day that you have this commitment and your actions are an affirmation. They're a meditation. They're offerings to this commitment to live at a higher level. Just remember who you are and remember your practice.
It seems like for a lot of people, part of the practice now is going to Instagram, to writers' spaces like yours, and looking at it and feeling inspired for the day.
Absolutely. Like getting messages from people saying that I was gonna give up, you know, your words help me. This right here, it lets me know that I'm doing my part to help the world vibrate higher in some way.
There are now hundreds, if not thousands, of accounts on Instagram that boast positive messages. And while many of these writers have secured book deals through their success, the underlying goal and hope is simply to help other people find their happiness from within.
You talk a lot about happiness doesn't come from a relationship,
No.
a job, your family. It comes from yourself.
Yeah.
Can you help people understand that idea?
A lot of happiness, it has to be cultivated from within. You loving yourself, you being aligned with your values, and you also having a deep appreciation of impermanence. I think a lot of the times the mental struggles that we have are because we just reject the fact that things are constantly changing. Life is this constant movement of change that we don't really have control over.
Do you think that's why your writings are speaking to so many people right now?
Absolutely. I mean, the world is in massive transition. Everything's changing. There have always been problems historically that people had to deal with, but now we have a greater amount of accessibility in regards to accessing tools that can deeply heal ourselves, and that's what's always been missing.
For CBS Mornings, Jamie Yukas in Los Angeles.
Didn't you guys like the line, misery is going out of style?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And Delia, vibrate higher daily. Just watching Delia and Jamie on the beach together like that was pretty calming.
Yeah. And they're right. Change is happening so quickly. I think that's why people are flocking to those messages of support.
Yeah, and
Badly
vibrating
needed.
higher. Be around people that give you the great vibrations.
Exactly, Nate.
People that don't, get rid of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
All toxicity out. I
Yeah,
so
that's
agree
right.
with that.
All right. Good vibrations. Beach Boy song.
Hey, that could be a song.
And you can hear more of Jamie's conversation with Diego and Layla on the CBS Mornings podcast. For now, we'll be right back.
You don't believe me, but it's true.